This is my review of The Promised Neverland, chapter 126, Three-Person Talk. So we open up with Chris, still basically in a coma, which is very concerning. I'm not sure if Norman's allies are going to end up taking him as a hostage, or if they're going to have to escape at some point while carrying him, but it certainly seems interesting that the author decided to keep him in a coma. From there, Emma talks about the others, the warriors that they were conversing with, and she was terrified of them. The depth of the hatred that they felt was overwhelming to her. She had never seen it before. Not even at Goldie Pond, where they'd seen their friends be killed again and again. Or even back at Gracefield, where the only mother they ever known basically turned out to be selling them out as food. And yet, these people from Lambda have more hatred than that. More hatred than anyone they've ever met for these demons. It is truly terrifying. I'm not sure if we'll ever get the full impact of what it is they've been through, but I'm not sure we really want to know. From there, Ray talks about how that's how all wars are. After you kill someone from one side, the other side wants revenge. They kill you, which causes your side to want revenge, and so on and so forth until full-on war is broken out. A chain of hatred that cannot be stopped. Then Norman shows back up, and of course Ray already knows the plan. A civil war, which of course Emma hadn't even realized. This definitely feels like back in the first few chapters where Ray and Norman were just talking back and forth, and Emma's just like, what? But Emma's quick to understand the plan and everything they want to do. Basically, just make both sides start fighting each other and then kill who's ever left over. Pretty simple plan. Of course, getting both sides to act the way you want them to can prove difficult. It's entirely possible they might team up in order to take out Norman and the rest of them. From there, we learn more about the 5 regent houses. Basically, they and the royal family run the farms, and I'm curious if they each have like a different role, like maybe each of them own different plants, or maybe each of them is control of a different aspect of the farm. It makes sense they were all in competition with each other, trying to provide the best brains for themselves and the royal family. That way it keeps them working hard to try and outdo the other house. That would also make sense because it said Lambda was made by the 5 aristocrats working together. It could be that point where they decided, you know what, we're all going to die pretty soon unless we change things, so let's work together and make a better farm with better humans and better product. Of course, it may already be too late because some of the lower class demons aren't too happy about the fact that they aren't getting the better food. They're getting worse and worse food every year, and as a result, they're becoming more and more animal and less human. We also learned that the Gilan clan was basically sentenced to never eat human meat again, and they figured, alright, well, they're just going to turn into wild animals, and we'll forget about them. But through perseverance and thirst for revenge, they managed to survive all this time, stealing from farms and towns, and getting just enough to barely hold on to their intelligence. And then Norman mentions another circumstance. Something else that's going to keep them from coming after him until they have their revenge. I'm not sure what that could be. It might be the contract they all signed. That might be binding to them, so they won't break it. It might also be that they're just at their limit. If they keep going with these poor quality, with these scraps they're barely able to get by on, they'll just lose their minds, and they can't have that, so they need to do this. They need to take control and get access to the main supply of food in order just to save themselves. And here's where things go disturbing. Emma and Ray tell Norman about the demons that won't degenerate if they don't eat humans. And they expect this to be some big news to him, but his reaction terrifies them. I mean, this is the same reaction Norman had when he realized he was about to die. Back in Gracefield, when he realized there was no way to save himself, that was the reaction he had. Then he refers to Musica as the clan of the evil-blooded girl. And then we see her in a cage surrounded by corpses. So many questions about this. Seriously, if it wasn't for Black Clover this week, this would have been the most shocking thing in all of Shonen Jump. So Musica is of the clan of the evil-blooded girl, or maybe she is the evil-blooded girl. Maybe the clan is basically just the followers who are around her. I definitely thought there was something strange about her for a while, especially when Luvis was killed, and we saw that she was in his memories with Sonja protecting her. So what is this clan? What role do they have? And why is Norman so utterly, horrifically terrified? I had too many thoughts on this. Either Musica being alive somehow changes his plans, where it might result in him losing. If either the royal family or the Gallian clan gets a hold of her, then they'll be able to survive a war, and Norman won't be able to kill them. Or Norman realizes that if he had gone with that plan, if he had saved her instead, there could have been a much better solution, a more peaceful resolution to all this. I mean, what is she? What makes her different? My main theory is that she might be like a human-demon hybrid, or some kind of result of crossbreeding that has somehow managed to create the ultimate demon, one who doesn't eat human meat. And then it may also be possible then, if the demons eat her, they'll never get hungry again. Their form will remain stable for the rest of their lives. It's certainly possible they might end up working with the Lambda plant to mass produce her meat in order to make a cure for all demons. It's also possible that's why Sonja doesn't need to eat human meat either. He literally ate the body and blood of his savior, and thus has attained salvation. Certainly be an interesting Christ analogy there. But they said it's the evil-blooded girl, so Norman's fear might be something completely different. Maybe she is just that terrifying. Maybe her abilities and powers are just so overwhelming that she could just kill them all with a snap of fingers. Maybe during the war with humans, she was the one feared by most because she could just obliterate everyone around her with the snap of her fingers. Who is she? What is the evil-blooded girl? What is their clan? I have so many freaking questions. And I literally just cannot wait for next week. We're finally getting answers on what music is, how she's going to affect things, and I think a plan moving forward, which the others might not be on board for. It's also possible Norman could just end up splitting his plans, you know? Sending Emma and Ray out to try and find her, trying to make the deal, try to do something, while at the same time leading the Revolution Army, saying, you have 1 week, and then blood will start being spilled. Try and solve things by then. Alright, and that is it for the Promised Neverland. I will see you all next week. Peace.